The streets of Manhattan erupted into chaos today as BTS's Jungkook stepped out of the Calvin Klein headquarters, where hundreds of eager fans had been waiting for hours just to catch a glimpse of him. Dressed in a tailored gray suit that perfectly highlighted his sharp features and charismatic aura, Jungkook instantly sent the crowd into a frenzy, with ARMY screaming, waving banners, and capturing every second on their phones. The scene outside the Calvin Klein office resembled a red carpet event. As Jungkook emerged from the building, flanked by security, fans erupted in chants of his name, creating an atmosphere more reminiscent of a concert than a fashion engagement. His polished look, a sleek gray blazer paired with matching trousers and a crisp white shirt, was both classic and modern, embodying the effortless elegance that has made him one of the most sought-after fashion icons of his generation. Observers couldn't help but note the magnetic energy he carried. With every step, Jungkook radiated confidence, occasionally glancing toward the crowd and offering a small nod that only intensified the screams. Photographs and videos quickly flooded X and Instagram, with hashtags like #JungkookInGray and #CalvinKleinKing shooting to the top of trending charts within minutes. Fans described his look as cinematic, perfectly timeless, and the definition of worldwide handsome. Fashion critics, too, were quick to weigh in. A New York-based stylist tweeted, "This isn't just about clothing, it's about presence." Jungkook makes a simple gray suit look like the centerpiece of New York Fashion Week. The understated outfit, chosen in contrast to the bold leather look he wore at Calvin Klein's show the night before, highlighted his versatility and ability to adapt seamlessly to different aesthetics while maintaining his unique identity. For ARMYs on the ground, however, the moment was deeply personal. Many described waiting outside since dawn, braving long hours for the chance to see him up close. Their patience was rewarded with what some called the best 3 minutes of my life, as Jungkook waved briefly before stepping into his car, leaving behind echoes of cheers that rang through the streets of New York. This sighting only adds to the whirlwind week Jungkook is having in the city, solidifying not only his role as the face of Calvin Klein but also as a global cultural icon whose every move captivates millions. His gray suit may have been simple in design, but in the presence of Jungkook, it became unforgettable, a symbol of grace, power, and the star quality that continues to define his career. The hysteria surrounding Jungkook's appearance at Calvin Klein's New York headquarters didn't end once he entered his vehicle. Fans ran alongside the car for several blocks, waving banners and shouting his name, while others live-streamed the moment to global audiences. Within minutes, clips of Jungkook in his gray suit were circulating online, reaching millions of views on TikTok and Instagram Reels. The visual of him, polished yet effortlessly charming, became an instant viral phenomenon. Commentators in the fashion industry described the moment as a turning point for celebrity fan engagement during Fashion Week. Unlike other ambassadors who might slip in and out of events discreetly, Jungkook's visibility and the raw passion of ARMY turned his exit into a spectacle in its own right. A columnist for Vogue Business remarked, "This wasn't just a fashion office exit. It was an impromptu global event staged by fans who see Jungkook not as a distant star, but as someone whose presence alone is worth traveling across continents for." Meanwhile, Calvin Klein executives appeared pleased with the frenzy. Insiders reported that the brand intentionally allowed a brief moment of public exposure, knowing Jungkook's magnetic appeal would amplify their visibility across platforms. The gray suit, though understated compared to the bold leather ensembles from the runway show, was chosen strategically to emphasize Jungkook's versatility, proof that he could command attention in both daring and minimalist styles. And fan communities, reactions grew emotional. Many described the sight of Jungkook in a gray suit as almost cinematic, likening him to a character stepping out of a high-fashion film. Messages of pride poured across platforms. "Jungkook doesn't just wear Calvin Klein, he elevates it to another level," one fan wrote. Another commented, "This isn't just about clothes, it's about how he makes us feel. He's larger than life." The images from New York quickly made international headlines, with Korean media framing the frenzy as further evidence of Jungkook's global dominance. In Japan, his gray suit looked trended on Yahoo Japan's hot searches, while US outlets like Billboard and Harper's Bazaar praised him as the new face of modern masculinity in fashion. For ARMY, however, it wasn't about critics or headlines. It was about being there in that crowd and seeing him shine with their own eyes. Even those who weren't present felt included, as live streams and fan cams created a shared experience that spanned continents. In that moment, New York wasn't just the fashion capital of the world. It was Jungkook's stage, and ARMY was his audience, As the car disappeared into the Manhattan streets, fans were left breathless but proud, knowing they had just witnessed another unforgettable chapter in his journey. And while the gray suit may have been simple, on Jungkook, it became something iconic, the perfect symbol of elegance, charm, and the unstoppable force of a global superstar. As the night fell over Manhattan, the echo of Jungkook's brief yet dazzling appearance lingered across the city. New York Fashion Week has always been a stage for the world's most influential figures, but Jungkook's presence seemed to transcend the usual fanfare. This was not just another celebrity attending a brand event. It was a cultural moment where music, fashion, and fandom collided to create history on the streets. Industry experts began referring to the incident as a New York takeover. What made Jungkook's appearance extraordinary was not simply the elegance of his gray suit or the hysteria of the waiting fans, but the sheer magnitude of global attention it commanded. Unlike other brand ambassadors, who rely heavily on press releases and curated photo ops, Jungkook turned an ordinary exit from an office building into an unforgettable public spectacle, an event that fans and media alike compared to the atmosphere of a concert finale. The symbolism of the gray suit also played a key role in shaping the narrative. After the bold leather look that defined his Calvin Klein runway moment, this softer, more refined style showed another side of Jungkook, sophisticated, approachable, yet no less magnetic. Critics praised the way he could pivot seamlessly between edgy and classic, describing him as the embodiment of modern versatility in fashion. For ARMY, however, the milestone went deeper than just fashion analysis. Many reflected on how Jungkook, once the youngest member of BTS who shied away from cameras during his trainee days, has now grown into a global icon who can stop an entire city with his presence. To see him embraced not only by fans but also by the global fashion industry felt like the fulfillment of a journey that spanned more than a decade. It was a reminder of resilience, growth, and the power of staying true to oneself. As photos of Jungkook in his gray suit continued to circulate, Calvin Klein executives were undoubtedly aware of the value he brought to their brand. Analysts predicted a surge in demand for similar styles, noting that Jungkook's impact on consumer behavior is unparalleled among celebrity ambassadors. In fact, early reports from online retailers already indicated a spike in searches for gray suits and Calvin Klein menswear just hours after his appearance. The conclusion is clear. Jungkook's presence in New York was not just another celebrity sighting. It was a defining moment for both fashion and fandom. He turned the streets outside Calvin Klein into his runway, proving that style is not confined to the catwalk, but can be elevated in the simplest moments when carried by someone with undeniable charisma. And so, as the world rewinds and replays those precious minutes of Jungkook in a gray suit, one truth remains undeniable. New York Fashion Week 2025 may have had many stars, but there was only one who turned the city into a stage. His name is Jungkook, but in the end, Jungkook's appearance outside the Calvin Klein office in New York was more than just a fleeting fashion moment. His gray suit may have been simple in design, but on him, it became a statement of elegance, confidence, and global influence. The hysteria of fans waiting for hours, the viral images flooding social media, and the critical acclaim from fashion insiders all pointed to the same truth. Jungkook is not only a music icon, he is now firmly established as a force in the fashion world. New York Fashion Week has hosted countless legends, but the sight of Jungkook turning a city sidewalk into his personal runway will be remembered as one of its most unforgettable highlights. For ARMY, it was a moment of pride. For the fashion industry, it was a wake-up call. And for the world, it was proof that Jungkook's star power knows no boundaries.